Hello, today I'm going to analyze the face of Jessica Alba, a very famous actress from the 2000s who rose to global recognition through a combination of blockbuster films, television success, and lasting mainstream popularity. Let's start with her harmony from the front. Firstly, her facial thirds are perfectly balanced, with the middle third being the smallest one. Her lower third is around 34%, which is also good. The next measurement is her total facial height to width ratio, and it is too long at 1.42. In her case, more laterally projected cheekbones and a slightly shorter lower third would balance it out. Jessica's mid-face ratio is 1.02, which is in the ideal range, but her facial width to height ratio is 1.85, which is a bit too low. This means that ideally her face should be a bit wider. Moving on to one of her more significant flaws, her jaw is too wide at around 93% of her bazygomatic width, which is partly because of the less projected cheekbones. However, her forehead width is perfect at 86%. Alba's jaw frontal angle is 92 degrees, which is in the ideal range. Her cheekbone high-settedness is 86%, which is perfect. Her eye separation ratio is ideal as it is 46%, but her eyes are spaced more than one eye apart, which is a flaw, and the main reason for it is her lower palpebral fissure length, or PFL. Next is her canthal tilt, which is just outside of the ideal range at 5 degrees. Jessica's eye aspect ratio is excellent at 2.6, giving her eyes a slightly rounder appearance that adds to their feminine look. Her eyebrow low-settedness is 87%, which is medium set, and her eyebrow tilt is also great at 13 degrees. Next is her ipsilateral alar angle, which is ideal at 91 degrees, and it harmonizes perfectly with her jaw frontal angle, as the deviation is only 1 degree. Jessica's mouth-to-nose ratio is 1.46, which is ideal, and her nasal width in isolation is also perfect. Her chin-to-philtrum ratio is 2.34, which is in the ideal range, but her neck width is 74%. A very minor flaw. Her lip proportions are in the ideal range, and lastly, her lower third proportion is exactly 1/3, which is the absolutely perfect value. This concludes her frontal harmony measurements. Let's continue with her side profile. Jessica's glabella facial convexity is too flat at 175 degrees. Additionally, her total facial convexity angle is also slightly too obtuse at 145 degrees, and her nation facial convexity is 172 degrees, again higher than ideal. Together, these results indicate that her mid-face lacks projection. She's also slightly recessed relative to the Frankfurt plane. The next measurement is her ramus length, and it's too short, as it is 0.4 of the length of her mandible. Her gonial angle is also outside of the ideal range, as it is 128 degrees. Alba's mandibular plane angle is 29 degrees, which is also a relatively major flaw. This measurement indicates that her jaw is too downgrown. On the other hand, her lip assessments are ideal. She passes the E-plane, the H-line, the Burstone line, and the Steiner line. Moving on, her nasolabial angle is also great at 97 degrees. This gives her nose a subtle upturned look, which is typically preferred in women. Her nasofrontal angle is 137 degrees, also ideal. This means that her brow ridge, radix, and nose are harmonious. Jessica's nasal convexity is 27 degrees, which is in the ideal range, and her nasofacial angle is also perfect, as it is 33 degrees. However, her nasomental angle is 133 degrees, which is again a flaw stemming from insufficient mid-face projection. Her nasal tip angle is ideal at 118 degrees, but her mentolabial angle is 133 degrees, which is too obtuse, probably due to her moderate chin recession. Jessica's brow ridge inclination is perfectly ideal at 17 degrees. However, her orbital vector is negative, which is not ideal. This characteristic is typically associated with increased under-eye hollowing, which is generally considered less aesthetic. The final harmony measurement evaluates the relationship between the gonion and the mouth line. Her gonion sits just below this line, which, even if only slightly, is still ideal. After reviewing all of the measurements, Jessica Alba's facial harmony is 59.9%, which is a decent score. For her facial angularity, she received a 6.5 out of 10. The main detractors here are the cheekbone prominence, the recessed chin, and the jawline visibility. Next is her sexual dimorphism, which is pretty high, but there are still some phalos, the main ones being the face shape and the jaw width. Therefore, she scores an 8 out of 10 for dimorphism. The last component is her feature score, where she received a 7 out of 10. Her health indicators are pretty good, but her protruding eyes, slight eye asymmetry, and a few other factors reduce her score. As for her overall score, Jessica Alba is a 6.75 out of 10, With an accepted range from 6.6 to 7, this isn't a top-tier score, but it's still great and very close to the model tier. Her success highlights how marketability and mass appeal do not necessarily correlate with top-tier levels of objective attractiveness.